Alrighty guys, so we are going to get started on science class now. So today we are starting a whole new unit. It is called Earth's Features. So this unit is all about geology and geologists. We're going to be studying stuff like rocks and landforms and anything about the Earth. So it's pretty exciting. So the first thing I want you to do is we are going to do our pre-unit writing first. Then we are going to do our I can statement, and then I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and we'll talk kind of about what we're going to be learning today. So for your kind of do now kind of time, I want you to answer just the 3 questions in this packet. It looks like a lot. It's not. It's actually only 3 questions. This is the pre-unit writing. You do need to write in complete sentences. All right, I'm going to read the directions out to you. So go ahead and look at your paper. I'm going to read the directions. If you want to work ahead, you can. All right, it says pre-unit writing, explaining the rocky outcrop. A fossil was found in a layer of mudstone in this rocky outcrop in Desert Rocks National Park. Answer the questions in parts 1, 2, and 3. Again, it's just 3 questions. Be sure to answer all questions as best as you can. I do not expect anybody to know these answers because I haven't taught you a thing about this yet. So nobody knows anything yet. So just answer as best as you can. Write at least 1 complete sentence per question. So I'm only asking you to write a total of 3 sentences. Number 1, how did this rock with the fossil in it form? So if we look at the picture, it has like this little kind of mountain, maybe like a plateau type of a thing. And then it has different layers. The upper layer says it's made out of mudstone. The lower layer says it's made out of siltstone. Now, the little dot where it says 1, that's the part that we're looking at. How did this rock with the fossil in it form? Again, just answer in 1 complete sentence. All right, the answer can be not very good. It's okay. I haven't taught you how to do it. Just try your very, very best. It's just to kind of get our brains to start thinking, okay? So that's the first question. How did this rock with the fossil in it form? So how was it made? Right? It didn't just like pop into existence. Something had to happen to that rock in order for it to come. We're going to raise our hands, please. On page 2, question 2, it says, has the environment of Desert Rocks National Park always been the same? And how do you know? Has it always, forever, always been like that? Have those rocks always existed?
No.
Probably not. Yep. So go ahead and write 1 complete sentence answering why. We're not doing raised hands about this yet. Do you have a question about anything so far?
No, I was just saying.
Because I don't want you to give the answer. I want everyone to think for themselves. I love that. I'm going to read your response later. Number 3. On the back, it says the rocky outcrop is the wall of a canyon. There are not canyons everywhere in Desert Rocks National Park, so in most parts of the park, we cannot see the rock layers. How could this canyon that shows the rock layers have formed? So, there are not canyons everywhere in this particular park, and in some parts you can see the rock layers, and in some parts you can't. So in some parts we can literally look at the side of a rock, like a giant rocky mountain kind of thing, like this, and we can see the layers from the outside. But in some parts we can't. How could this canyon that shows the rock layers have formed? Why do you think it actually shows the rock layers? Why can we see that? Again, you're just writing 3 complete sentences. Does anyone have any questions about this? Okay. I'm going to set, question, and then I'm going to set a timer. Love it. So I'm going to definitely have you answer some questions in a few minutes. Yep, on the board. Yep, that's our next activity. We're going to answer questions. Let me go ahead and set a timer, and I'll answer Amira's question. So I'm going to give you, there's 3 questions. I'm going to give you guys, let's do 3 minutes, and then if it takes longer than that, I will check, and it's okay. We can take longer than that. Amira.
How do you spell volcano?
So let me write it on the board in case anyone else also needs to know how to spell volcano. It's Volcano. Good questions. Sure, of course. Go ahead and put off, please. Yeah. Thank you. Again, don't think too hard about it. just kind of think about it, kind of look at the picture, and just give your very best guess. I'm going to reread question 1 for you guys. Look at the picture. I noticed that there's an upper layer and a lower layer. The upper layer is mudstone. The lower layer is siltstone. How did this rock, the one that says number 1 on it, with a fossil in it form? How did that rock form? Where did it come from? What had to happen for that rock to be formed? I'm going to walk around. I'm going to look at everybody's answers. Make sure you put your name on your paper, please. This is a silent and intimate activity. Nobody's copying or making any noise. It should just take a couple of minutes. Make sure you put your name on your paper. Very good. Some people are choosing to write more than one sentence, and I love that.
I did too.
Very good. Sometimes it's necessary, you know? You can give more details, do a better explanation. Please put those down. Thank you. Good job. Can I get your response now since I have a second? Beautiful. That's correct. Very good. Wow, some of you are so smart. Got such good guesses. I love it. Thank you so much for trying. Thank you for trying. Oh, you didn't raise your hand. We got about 1 minute left, and then I'm just going to check with you guys and make sure everybody's okay and doesn't need more time. Yes, question. Makes it easier to teach. Very good. We have about 45 seconds. It's less than 1 minute. If you're done, I want you to just start thinking about this lesson. What do you think this unit is going to be about? Did you already know anything about rocks and the geology and stuff? Don't answer yet. Just start thinking, because I am going to ask questions like that in a second.
20 seconds.
Yep, 20 seconds.
30, 40, 15.
Good job, Courtney. Thank you. Great job. Make sure you put your name on it. It's okay if you're not quite done. Okay, that was 3 minutes. Give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down if you need more time. If you need more time, give me a little thumbs down. Yep. Great. Thank you so much. So I see some people are done, some people are not done. If you are done, again, just start thinking about what is this unit going to be about? Do you know anything about it yet?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes. That's a total of 5 minutes. Go ahead and use the last 2 minutes to write some more answers. If you're done with the first page, go to the next page, please. Yep. Let me go ahead and read the second and the third questions again, in case you're someone who needs that. That's okay. Marco's question. No? Sorry, we all just had break. We just went on break. Oh, wait, you were in the hallway, weren't you? You were on break. You went top. Yeah, that's fine, Marcos. You can go ahead and go. Thank you for reminding me. All right, for number 2, in case you need it reread to you, it says, has the environment of Desert Rocks National Park always been the same? So you're going to say, yes, it's always been the same, or no, it has not always been the same. And then it says, how do you know? And you could say, yes, because blank. You could say no, because blank. Remember, we're writing in complete sentences now. If you're not sure what a complete sentence looks like, look over here. It starts with a capital letter, ends with a period. Write in at least one full complete sentence. Has it always been the same? How do you know? In case you're on number 3, I'm going to reread number 3. It says, the rocky outcrop is the wall of a canyon. There are not canyons everywhere in Desert Rocks National Park. So in most parts of the park, we cannot see the rock layers. How could this canyon that shows the rock layers have formed? So again, there are different places that look different. All right. There's some parts of this national park that have these sort of rock formations, but you can't see the layers. There are other parts, like this picture, where you can see the layers. What do you think the difference is? Why is it that sometimes you can see them and sometimes you can't see them? Again, if you're not sure, it's okay. I haven't taught it to you yet. Write at least one complete sentence and just give me your very best guess. Question of Mira.
Can you read number 3?
Yeah? So again, number 3. Number 3 says the rocky outcrop is the wall of a canyon. There are not canyons everywhere in Desert Rocks National Park. So in most parts of the park, we cannot see the rock layers. How could this canyon that shows the rock layers have formed? So this question is still referring to the picture on the first page. So look at the picture and write, why can we see the layers in this picture? How come in some, if I took a different picture of a different part of the national park and I took a different picture of a different rock formation, you couldn't see the layers? Why is it that sometimes you can see them and sometimes you can't see them? So I would write something like, in this picture, I can see the rock layers because blank. I can see them here because, why? Why can we see them here?
Wait.
And you're just going to give your very best guess. It does not have to be right. Just give your best guess. It's okay. This is just pre-writing. It's just to see what you know and what you need to learn. That's all it is. I will not grade it if it's wrong.
Can I put something else?
Yes, absolutely. You do not have to use my words. Just use your very best guess. Do one complete sentence. This is the last one, you guys. Very good. Oh, that's really good. Oh, and
I know about that.
I like the note at the bottom. This is very good. Good job, Colton. Thank you for trying. Thank you for being great. You know, something else I noticed is that a couple of people chose to also draw a picture in order to further explain their answer, which I love. So I noticed that some people wrote their answer in one complete sentence. Some people wrote their answer in like 4 complete sentences. They wrote a whole paragraph. Some people did a little bit of both, and some people chose to also draw a picture to further explain their answer. You can do anything like that. Any of those options are great options. Okay, give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down if you need just another second. Little thumbs up, little private thumbs up, thumbs down. 1, 2. Thumbs down, we need more time. Yep. Thumbs down, we need more time. Okay. All right, I see about 3 people. We're going to give those 3 people an extra 30 seconds, and then we have to move on. You guys, if you're not quite done after 30 seconds, it's okay. You can keep working while I talk. Oh, I do not want to see you playing with a ball. If it's a stress ball and you're holding it, that's fine. If you're bouncing it, it's a toy and I have to take it away. Thank you. Great job. So I love that you said no. Can you keep writing that whole sentence? So write no, comma. Do a little comma. And then write because. What? You know? Santana, it's not very nice to count like that. We don't want to make anyone feel rushed. We'll look at a couple more answers. We'll give everyone about 15 more seconds. You guys see some other people choosing to draw a picture too now. Good job. It's not required, but you can. Make sure you draw a picture. Or write your name, I'm sorry. That's not a complete sentence, just so you know. Good job. You can have it, you just can't bounce it or anything. It's too distracting. It's very silly. Okay. Wow. I see lots of people drawing pictures. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on. If you're not done, you can keep working while I am talking. Just make sure that you look up every few seconds. That way I know that you're paying attention, okay? So as you know, we have moved on. So we are on Unit 3, which is going to be all about geology, which is all about rocks and the study of the Earth and the Earth's features. We are on Lesson 1.1, so this is the very first lesson in this unit. I'm going to introduce to you the new unit question, which you guys haven't seen before, unless you were looking at it this morning when I posted it. How do rocks and fossils tell us about the way Earth changes over time? I'm going to say that again. Over the next month or two, we are going to be learning to answer this question. The question is, how do rocks and fossils tell us about the way Earth changes over time? It's okay if you don't know the answer yet, because I haven't taught you yet. We're going to say the I can statement together. In 1, 2, 3. I can.
I can.
Explain what?
Explain what?
Geology is.
Geology is.
And what?
And what?
Geologists do.
Geologists do.
Very good. So we're saying that by the end of class today, we should be able to explain what geology is and then what geologists do. All right? Now over here, you'll also notice, and I won't read the whole thing, but just so you know, this is our vocabulary wall and then our brand new note wall as well, okay? So over here, if you're, please listen. So if you are looking at, no, don't turn it, please. Just leave it. Thank you, though. I'll take a picture and send it to my boss later. Thank you, though. So it has the chapter 1 question at the top. So it's how did the fossil get inside the rocky outcrop? You're not going to know the answer yet because I haven't taught you. But if you get lost throughout this unit, you can just look over here and see the questions and the answers. That's going to help guide you along to where you're supposed to be learning. For the vocabulary word wall, the word of the day is going to be geologist. So that's the vocabulary word that by the end of class today, I expect everyone should know the answer to. If I say, what is a geologist? You should all be able to tell me, a geologist is blank. Okay? That's what we're doing. Activity 1, Mystery in Desert Rocks Canyon. So just like in every single unit of Amplify, you guys get to take on an exciting role of a real professional. And I very much expect that at least a couple of you guys will consider doing one of these jobs that we've been talking about. So remember we talked about like an electrician or something for like the electricity unit at the beginning of the year. And then for vision and light, we were environmental conservationists. So we were trying to protect the tokay geckos. Well, in this unit, we are going to have a brand new job, and we're going to find out what that is in a second. So we're about to begin a new science unit during which we'll learn about how Earth can change over long periods of time. So the Earth does not stay the same, it does change. This is Desert Rocks National Park. We will investigate how this place has changed over time. So this is the place we are trying to figure out a question to. The thing that we're trying to investigate, the thing that we're trying to find answers about is this place. It's called Desert Rocks National Park. All right. Let's see, how many people? I'm going to take 2 answers at a time. So someone raise their hand and say, I'm going to ask you the question, you're going to answer. What do you notice about this place? How do you think this place may have changed over time? So what do you notice about this picture? What do you think might have changed over time, Michael?
You know how it shows us the picture at the front?
Uh-huh.
I bet that's probably those, but they're different now. Because they look a lot different in that picture.
Uh-huh. Very good.
There's probably all those mountains.
Uh-huh.
Do you see how they're pointed?
Yes.
In this picture, it's not. I think that's how that place changed.
Very good. I love that. So Michael is noticing that there may be some changes, and he's comparing the picture that we see up here to the picture on the pre-unit writing. And I don't know if he's right yet, but we're sure going to find out. Very good. One more person. I'm going to ask the question again. What do you notice about this place? How do you think this place may have changed over time, Santana? You could both say it. Yeah. Love it.
No, the sun hits the Rocky mountains and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Then it makes it change its color.
Ooh, beautiful. So Santana's noticing color changes and talking about how the sun may be affecting that. What do you think, Malachi? How would you add on to that?
The sun hit it and changed color, and if the sun didn't hit it, then there will still be that mud that's still coming down from it. Because you can tell by its color in the effect that there's mud trying to drip.
Beautiful.
But the sun melted it. Now that's the only part that no one's over now. If it's not, then it should be, if I'm not mistaken,
Uh-huh.
supposed to be rainbow color.
Beautiful.
And
Keep going.
if you look back at the paper, it says Rocky outcrop with this way back.
Uh-huh.
They don't look the same. So it must have like some
everyone. Teachers, this is a reminder. Today we have a tornado drill. We have a tornado drill.
Thank you.
Exact time,
Listen for the announcement for a moment.
And what we would ask you
Excuse me?
is to just escort,
Listen, please.
politely escort your students. Fourth grade will come out of your pod, and you will have your students sit against the wall in the fourth grade hallway. Fifth grade, you will have your students.
We're going to listen to the announcement for emergency procedures.
Have your students sit against the wall quietly. Seventh and eighth graders, we will use the hallways for your students to sit along the wall.
Just
I
listen
will
for a
also
second.
send you an email just to give you some details, and we will be talking soon. Thank you.
Thank you
Again,
guys for being so
tornado
quiet.
drill this afternoon. Thank you.
Great. So we don't know when it's going to be. Let's save questions for the tornado drill until a little bit towards the end. But we all heard what she said, right? So at some point today, there will be a tornado drill. What we're going to do is we are going to walk out into the hallway, and we will all sit down against a wall.
Students in Mr. Canty's pod,
1 second.
please go straight outside. Students in Mr. Canty's pod, please go straight outside.
Sit down,
Everyone else
please.
is coming to a lunchroom. We have some seats this time. Sixth graders will be sitting at the sixth grade tables. Seventh and eighth graders, the same thing. Thank you.
Jace, you're going to lose the rolly chair if you don't sit at your desk, please. I don't want you to move around. Okay? If there are questions about the tornado drill, we're going to hold them until the end of class. But if it's a question about this or a comment, go ahead.
I think Elizabeth Madison and what I was basically trying to say, until she interrupted me, is like, if you look at the picture that you put, that you like,
The one that I gave you.
paste it onto this,
So look at your pictures.
it doesn't look the same from that picture on the board, because it basically had a glow up, it looks like, because
I love that.
this is when it still had the blood on it and stuff. But like Malachi said, when the sun hits it, it gets all the dirty mud and stuff over it. And then some of the like rocks probably came off, because if you look at this, it looks like a platoon, like it looks like a little barrier on like a wall, and that looks nothing like this.
Beautiful. So I love that Santana's noticing a couple of different things, right? Santana and Malachi are noticing the sun shining down. They're noticing mud and the glow up that picture might have had compared to this picture, right? I love that you use the phrase glow up. I also love that Santana answered in complete sentences, and so did Malachi. And I especially love that Santana incorporated a social studies vocabulary word too. He remembered what a plateau looks like. Remember, a plateau is like a small mound or like a very small mountain or hill, and then the top of it is completely flat. Good job, guys. Alrighty, so we're gonna go on to the next slide. So please look up here. We're gonna continue. So this is the Desert Rocks Canyon, one of the many canyons in the park. A canyon is a valley with steep sides made of rock. So notice how this is a valley, right? It's like there's land and then it kind of dips down. That's a valley. And then it has very steep sides, meaning that they don't kind of just gradually slope down. It's like boom, right? It goes all the way down super quickly. And so that means that it has steep sides made out of rock. So because of that, we call it a canyon. So remember that term, canyon. We're going to keep on going. This is what was found. Was this fossil right here, right? Everyone knows that this is a fossil? Yeah. So it says, thinking about what this is and how it got there, they gave it... Oh, I'm sorry, I have a couple of people talking. It's very distracting. I'm going to start over. This is what was found. It's a fossil. Thinking about what this is and how it got there may give us some clues about what this place might have been in the past, right? So the fossil was found right there. They kind of zoomed it in, and it looks kind of like that. And then when they removed it all the way, it looks kind of like this, okay? Santana.
First thing, Jurassic Park vibes or Jurassic Park vibes. And I think I know how they got there. I think that's a dinosaur.
Very good. It very well might be. I don't know.
Or it might be an alligator somewhere.
Could be.
And another thing, it might have got there because you see how like you had a river in that one picture?
Mm-hmm. The canyon with the river at the bottom.
The dinosaur probably used to like drink water from there. And then when the meteor hit, they all died. And then that's when their bones started to decay.
I love that.
And then a mountain just started, what's it called?
Very good. Forming, very good. Raise your hand if you've ever seen Jurassic Park. I love that you said that. Has anyone ever seen Jurassic Park? Raise your other hand if you've ever seen any other movie that's about dinosaurs or about fossils or about anything like that. So I see a lot of both hands up. Beautiful. So we all have some familiarity with dinosaurs and with fossils. We know that very, very, very long time ago, dinosaurs walked the earth, right? At some point, they died from a cataclysmic event, from an event that was so major that it made an entire species extinct, okay? It made all the dinosaurs most of the dinosaurs just die. Most people do believe it was because of a meteor crash, right? And then once they die, though, it's not like they just disappear into thin air. They don't go, poof. They don't just disappear. Something is left behind, right? So their bodies are left behind, and then the skin kind of goes away first, right? The blood kind of goes away, but then the bones stay. And then because the bones are staying, well, eventually something has to happen to them, right? So after long, long, long periods of time, then we get fossils, right? After a long period of time, we get fossils. Now, the thing we're trying to learn here is why? How does that happen, right? They don't just magically become a fossil. Something has to happen to them. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on. Isla, question? Or a comment, yeah. Uh-huh. That sounds like super fun. I love it. Were they real bones, do you think, or do you think they were like fake bones, right? Yeah. That's because they're so rare and they're so expensive. It's very hard to get the bones out, the fossils out, and so it's very rare for someone to actually have fossils. That's why you see them in museums. You usually don't see them on display in people's houses. Santana, and then Michael H., and then Amira, and then we have to move on. Very quickly, though, Santana.
The taste, that's basically how the flesh and stuff, they taste from the animal.
Yes.
So, for example, I found a dead bird outside and it had all this fur and stuff on. I put it in like a little container like that, and then I left it for like 2 years. I opened it back up. It smelled like, obviously, smelled like rotten eggs and dead flesh, and it was just bones.
I love that. So that's a first-hand example of like what happens to animals when they die. Guess what? It can happen to plants too. It happens to animals and plants. Both animals and plants eventually decay. We're going to use that same word Santana used. They decay. They break down into smaller bits. Amira, and then Michael H., and then we got to move on. Amira, but quickly though.
So, you know how the said the tornado drill?
So yes, but remember we're going to talk about tornado drills later. We're going to talk about science right now. Okay. I'm sorry. Michael H.
So it's basically the skin evaporates off of, because there's nothing to keep it like, you know how our skin's moisture?
Yes.
It just dries up and then this dries up and just turns into dust.
Very good.
And then it's just the ball remaining.
Very good. That's exactly what happens.
They got killed, the body stayed there, then it got buried in a bunch of other stuff, like how those mountains we see. They could have like caved down and buried the dinosaurs.
Yep.
Like that. So it kind of, you see?
Just like he's talking about. Do you want to come up and show me? Point to the part you're looking at.
Do you see this color right here? That looks where the point of the mountains were at. So it could have fell when there was like a pterodactyl there. And then it died and it got buried and never, that's been called a place and it got buried.
Very good. I love how you're thinking. I love that we're thinking about the heights of things. I love that we're thinking about when things decay.
Right there too.
Santana, I also love how we're thinking about moisture and how what happens to the animal when the moisture kind of dries up. I know. Well, no, I'm trying to get him to listen because you were talking and because I'm explaining what you're talking about. Alrighty, let's move on. I don't think I told you guys yet, but we are doing a computer simulation if we have time.
Yes!
So hopefully everyone's quiet so we can go through the new computer simulation.
I did it.
I know you did. You worked ahead. But the rest of us have not seen it. So please be quiet. Please be respectful to the person speaking. whether it's me or someone who raised their hands. We're going to keep on going. All right, so what do you think this is, and how do you think it got there? You know, we've kind of talked a lot about it already. We all kind of agree that this is probably a fossil, right?
Yeah.
Right? That the fossil was probably found there, right? And we have different ideas about how it got there, right? Maybe it kind of fell off from the top, right? Maybe something died and then it just kind of stayed there and it lost the moisture. We have different theories already. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Do we kind of agree that this is a fossil? Thumbs up or thumbs down? You see everybody's thumbs. Do we all kind of think it is? Or if you're not sure, to the side. Hold on, I need to see your thumb. Love it. Thank you. Amir, thumb? Thank you very much. Good. So I think most of us pretty much agree that this is a fossil and that there are different theories on how it got there. And we're about to learn about that in a second. All right, here's the next slide. This is a big section of rock where the fossil is found. It's called a rocky outcrop. A rocky outcrop is a section of exposed rock. So if it's exposed, that means that there's nothing hiding it, right? If it was not exposed, there would be a giant mound of like dirt or something covering it to where we just couldn't see it. But because it's exposed, because there's nothing covering it, we can call it a rocky outcrop. I'm going to read that again. This big section of rock where the fossil was found is called a rocky outcrop. A rocky outcrop is a section of exposed rock. Let's say that all together. A rocky outcrop. Oh, that was weak sauce. I'm sorry. That was probably on me. I'm going to say it, then you're going to say it, just like the I can statement. I'm sorry about that. A rocky outcrop.
A rocky outcrop
is a section of exposed rock.
exposed rock.
Very good. Let's keep on keeping on. All right, in this unit, we will do what geologists do. Gather information to think about what a place was like in the past. That's kind of going back to our I can statement. We're saying that by the end of this class, we should all know what a geologist is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chase. Love the enthusiasm. So, a geologist gathers information to think about what a place was like in the past. They gather information. So they're using all of their senses, like we talked about in the last science unit. They're also using investigations and experiments. They're also doing archaeological digs, right? They're looking for things like archaeologists do. They're literally gathering information in any way that they can to try to figure out what happened in the past. Okay? So let's say what geologists do all together, since that's an I can statement and it's our vocabulary word of the day. We're going to say it together. Geologists gather information to think about what a place was like in the past. Very good. That's all that geologists do. They just gather information to try to figure out some answers about what it was like in the past. I see your hand. We're going to do just a couple more quick slides, and then I'll call on you, okay? Unless it's an emergency. That is super funny. Michael H., we're at dinosaur shirt today. That's so funny.
Wow.
How random. Did you do that because of the science lesson?
No, I didn't even know we were going to do this.
I love that. Okay. Amir, I see you waiting to sharpen the pencil. Just wait 1 second until I'm done with these 2 slides, okay? Okay. So we have, I got some people not looking up here. Some people not paying attention. Thank you. Got some other people not paying attention. Thank you. We already have our first 2 clues, the fossil and the rocky outcrop where the fossil was found. So a fossil is a piece of kind of decayed animal. It's an animal or a piece of an animal that has been there for a very, very long time, to where all you see left is kind of like a rock and like maybe an imprint of that, or maybe some bones, right? You don't see the actual animal. We'll get an actual definition for fossil later, okay? And then remember, a rocky outcrop is a giant piece of rock or rocks together, such as like kind of a small mountain or hill, but it's exposed, which means that there's nothing covering it. There's not a dirt mound covering it. We can see it. So we found the fossil in the exposed rock. We found the fossil in the rocky outcrop. All right, geologist, we already said a geologist is a scientist who studies the processes and materials that form the solid part of the earth. It's pretty much the same thing that we just already said. This is just the formal definition. A geologist is a scientist who studies something. The thing that particular type of scientist studies is they study the processes and materials, so the things that happen, right, that form the solid part of the earth. So it can't be forming water, it has to be forming like rocks, right, like solid things we can really touch, okay? One more, and then I'll let you guys sharpen your pencils, and we will move on to the next activity. So remember the unit question, how do rocks and fossils tell us about the way Earth changes over time? This is your unit question, which I've already went over. All right, Amir, sharpen your pencil. Michael, why sharpen your pencil? And then I'm gonna, did you have another question, Michael, or was it just about your shirt? Very good. And then after they're done, then I will call on Santana.
That's
awesome. It's very cool.
Is there an asteroid? Is that three? It's got really dry?
No. It is. It's very, very cool. Alrighty. I see you, Santana. It's just not everyone's going to be able to hear you while they're sharpening, okay? So wait just 1 second. Alright. Once you're done, please sit back down. So we're wasting a couple of minutes of time. Thank you for waiting till I was done talking. Alright, and then Marcos. Alright. Alright, we're going to sit back down. Once everyone is seated and quiet again, we'll continue with a couple of questions, just Santana and Amir, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is a simulation. We're not singing during class. Uh-oh. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder that we are in class. That means that we are raising our hand. Even if someone sharpens their pencils, doesn't mean we can talk. Okay? Santana, question. Uh-huh. Ooh, very good. Love it.
And another thing, I have a theory. Somebody told me a theory that I tried to look it up, but they had no answer. But dinosaurs actually used, the 5 Great Lakes.
Yes.
They actually used to drink from those.
I think that's probably true. They're very old. We'd have to Google it and make sure, but I think that is true. Very good.
And I think I know what either bone or fossil.
Very good. We're going to go ahead and go on with the simulation just because we have about 10 minutes left of class, and I want to make sure that everybody has enough time to answer some questions. Oh, I've got some people choosing to talk again. We are not going to get out the simulation until everyone is quiet. Amir, a question.
Okay, so I got a question. So first,
We're going to make it quick, though.
How that slide had that vocabulary word on it?
Yes, the geologist
How
one.
did you do that?
Oh, I didn't do it. Actually, this is a pre-made curriculum, which means that some other very smart teacher made it up for me. Yeah, I didn't make these ones. I know I make the social studies. I don't do the science, though.
This Leone made it.
No.
Number 2, the dinosaurs, my cousin, he had a small, tiny dinosaur.
Uh-huh. He has a small one, like at home? Like, do you mean at home he has one? That's very impressive. They can be very expensive and very rare. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on. Once I call up your number, your student number, we are going to get out our computers. Once you have your computer, I want you to log in. You're going to go to Amplify, okay? So that's go to Clever, then go to Amplify. Once you are in Amplify, I want you to just stop. I want to make sure everybody is on the same page before we move on. So, when I call your number, what are we going to do, Michael?
Grab our computers and get on Amplify.
Beautiful. And Deschanay, are we going to keep going and play with the simulation, or are we going to wait for the teacher? Beautiful, thank you. Hey, Isla, once we get our computers, can we go ahead and log in? Very good, thank you. All right, while we're doing this, is everyone going to stand up and start talking, Jace?
No.
We're just going to sit and wait.
Do they want to? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we want to, but we're not going to. Up, Santana, we're in the 4th grade. We stand up and we walk. We don't crawl.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you. Alrighty, when I call your number, go ahead and stand up and go get your computer. We do not need headphones for this activity. Alright, so let's just start with number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and grab your computers. We're walking over there. I noticed how they walked over there. They're getting their computers. They're being quiet about it. And then they're probably going to go sit right back down. Good job. We're not playing with that. Please put it down. If I see it again, I'm going to take it away. Thank you. Alrighty. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Please grab your computers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Please grab your computers. Deschanay, question. Oh, beautiful. I love how Deschanay's taking notes during class. Great job. That's beautiful.
Miss Harrison, do you know how they said 6, 7?
I did.
The computer card shows 6, 7.
Very good.
You said 6, 7.
Probably not right now.
My dad said it.
All right. Uh-oh, I got a lot of people talking and a couple of people out of their seats when they're not supposed to be. We'll wait until everybody is quiet and remaining in their seat.
Why is my account not on my computer?
It's okay. I can get you a login slip. Santana, sit down, please. Thank you. Or if you want, do like Amira and move the chair away to where you're not rocking in it because it's not safe, okay? Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to repeat my expectation. We are not going to start talking.
Yeah.
We are going to just sit there and wait until our number is called. It should only take about 1 minute for everyone to get their computers. It is now taking longer because people started talking, which means you have less computer time. Good. Just wait. Alrighty. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go ahead and do 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Please grab your computers. Again, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Please grab your computers. Thank you. Oh, I like that you're using the one from the presentation yesterday. The pencil. All right.
I know how to get to the whole simulation.
Great. Please wait. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Grab your computers, please. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Thank you. Yes, you may. Thank you for asking and raising your hand. Oh gosh, I have some people who continue to talk. That was my second general warning. I'm about to start writing people for detentions. Why do you need to go to the nurse? You've just been sitting there.
We just broke it.
How?
No.
How? What did you do?
Oh, it's fixing the table.
Uh-huh.
And my finger got stuck in it.
Well, that stinks. I'm so sorry. How about you go walk it off for a second? Go brush your rinse out with the water. See if that helps. If it doesn't, and then in 3 minutes I'll see you. Okay. All right. Here you go, Colton. All right. Let's see. Anybody else who has not gotten their computer, go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and raise your hand and let me know if you need a login slip. Go ahead and do that right now, please. Raise your hand if you need a login slip. You need one? Oh, do you have a question? Let me come to you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You can walk in front of it. You have the permission slip sign. You're good. It's only for people who don't have their slip signed. The parental consent to watch the videos. You're going to hold on to it for now. I'm going to collect them at the end of class, okay? It might be, but I'm not sure. Alrighty. Raise your hand if you need a login slip. Last call for login slips. Do you need one? Okay. Go ahead and log in to... Oh, do you need a login slip, Santana? All right, I'll come look. Go ahead and go into your Clever. Go ahead and go into Amplify after you're done with Clever. Oh gosh, okay. That's okay. I'll start writing names. I don't want to. I'd rather let you guys have lunch by yourselves or with your friends. We are going to be on Earth's features. All right. Raise your hand if you're having trouble getting onto your computer or getting into Amplify. Does anyone have any trouble getting onto your computer or getting into Amplify? Okay. Since no one has any questions or trouble, now I want you to go ahead and now that you're in Amplify, click on Amplify Science. Remember there's Boost and then there's Reading and then there's Science. Click on Amplify Science. Then click on Earth's Features. It's the one with the picture of the canyon on it. It's like kind of orange. It has the canyon in it. So go ahead and click on Earth's Features. Once you're on Earth's Features, just click on Simulation. It'll say Sim or Simulation. I'm going to write that word on the board. All right, so it's Earth's Features. That's the name of this new unit. Click on that. Oops. Click on Earth's Features. And then I want you to click on the simulation. This is how it's spelled, simulation. All right, before I start talking about the simulation, I just want to make sure everybody gets there and knows how to get there. Because we will be revisiting the simulation like a bunch of times. We're not doing Google Slides right now. All right, raise your hand if you're having any trouble getting into the simulation.
It's not letting me say.
That's okay. I'm gonna come around to a couple.
It's not letting me say.
Let's get your login slide.
No. Oh, now it's working.
Maybe just need
It was just being lost.
That's okay. Do you need help, Kristen? Yep. So go up to the top. Now click on the orange box under simulation. I'm gonna walk around and I'm just gonna make sure that everybody's on there now that we've all had a minute. Here, you got it. Here we go. We're gonna play around with this for a little bit. Are you having trouble? Do you know how to get there? So Amplify science, Earth's futures, simulation. And now my computer is shutting off. Yes. Great. I'm gonna turn my computer back on and then I will help you. Again, I do not want everyone to start talking. That is the final warning. If I see you talking again and you will not stop, I'm going to go ahead and write your name on the no recess board. We've now had a few warnings. Thank you. That's okay. Good job, Colton. All right. I'm going to help Amira. I think she's probably the last one to get on. So you're going to click on Earth's features, go on companions, click on simulation, the orange box. Good job. All right. You stay off of Google Slides, go back to your, that's fine, go to simulation. Totally. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and look up here at the board. Let's see what they're kind of trying to tell us about the simulation, okay? So it says that we are going to use an investigation notebook, just like scientists use. I've already showed you guys that. You already know what it looks like. It's on your desk, it has your name on it, you can write in it all you want. That is your investigation notebook. We are going to be using this simulation a bunch of times, so that's why I wanted to make sure everyone knew how to get in on their own. Geologists use different tools to learn about how Earth changes over time. We're going to use a digital tool throughout this unit called the Earth's Features Simulation. Guidelines for using apps, we already know about that. We already know about that. We know how to get into the simulation. Alrighty, take some time to explore the simulation, which I know that everybody's already doing. So go ahead and start playing with the simulation for a few minutes. Look at all the different features that the simulation offers you. Notice some of these features that it offers, right? It looks like you can move the elevation. Raise your hand if anyone remembers what elevation is. We talked about it a few times. Malachi. Very good. The level of, how can you finish that sentence, Santana? Very good. Very good. So I'm going to draw what that looks like on the board, right? So, okay, so if this is me, okay, that's me. I'm a little person. I'm a girl. I like my hair. So there you go. That's me. I'm on a beach, right? Now over here on the side of this beach, that's the water, okay? Where the beach meets the sand, or the water, where the sand meets the water, that's generally considered sea level, right? It's at sea level because that's where the sea is. So if you go to where the beach meets the ocean, where it meets the water, that's going to be 0 feet elevation. 0 feet above or below sea level. It's at 0. If you go up, it's going to be positive numbers. If you're going to go down, it's going to be negative numbers. So if you go in feet up above the sea level, like such as if you were on a mountain or a volcano or a hill or like a really tall plateau or something like that, that would be higher in elevation. So it would be like 5 feet elevation, 10 feet elevation. If you go below the sea level, so if you're going down underwater or if you're going into a valley or something like that, that's going to be below sea level. So I would say 10 feet below sea level, 15 feet below sea level. I'm going to teach you guys a whole lot more about that, so it's really okay if you don't understand it now. It looks like you can also click on different layers of land, different layers of earth, different layers of rock. So you can explore the different layers. So it looks like there are a few different features we can use. Michael H. question.
I think the where.
Very good.
Now it used to be wider. Now it's skinnier, but now it is. This one has water, but this one's still pretty deep.
That's awesome, Michael. Good job. Let me just double check this.
What do you think?
Oh, we do have about 10 more minutes actually. That is 12:15. It's actually 12:25 today, so we do have about 10 more minutes, which is great. 2 more quick questions, and then we are going to do a quick turn and talk. Chase. Yep. Thank you for waiting. It still doesn't feel better? Okay. Santana, question. Santana, I will come to you in a second. I'm going to write a pass for somebody first, okay? I would prefer it if we stopped talking. Thank you. Just play around with the simulation for a second. I am about to give you guys some time to talk for just a second. I really, really will. All right. Sorry, it's hurting, honey. Hopefully she'll get you some ice or something. Alrighty, let me come to Santana and I'll answer Marcos's question. And we are going to get started on our turn. Yes. Well, thank you for telling me that you're going to start your lesson then, right?
I can't help myself.
Beautiful. I love that Deschanay is taking notes from the simulation. Good job, Deschanay. Alrighty, here's the last thing we are going to do today. Please listen up. I want everyone to look up from their computers for just a second. You can look back at them in just a minute, I promise. But please look at me. Making sure I have all eyes on me for just a second while I explain the next directions. Waiting for Colton to look up at me for a second. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick turn and talk. So I'm going to give you guys, let's say, 3 minutes to turn and talk. What I want you to turn and talk about is our I can statement. Our I can statement says, I can explain what geology is and what geologists do. Well, now we've talked a little bit about what geologists do, okay? We now are using a tool that geologists might use. We're using a simulation, which is a model, right? I want you to turn and talk to your neighbor about the simulation, and I want you to turn and talk to them about the I can statement. What do you think a geologist is? What kind of things do geologists do? What do they care about? What does the simulation teach you? Are there any special features of the simulation that might help a geologist? I just want you to answer any kind of questions like that. Have a good discussion for about 3 minutes. I'm going to set a timer. Raise your hand if you have any questions about what we're going to do in just a second. Yes. Oh, Michael, why question? That's okay. All right, any questions? Amir, question.
I don't have a question about what we're going to do, but
Great. So while we're doing the turn and talk, I will walk over and talk to you privately about it, okay? All right, thumbs up or thumbs down. Do we all understand what we're doing and what we're going to talk about? Great, thank you. Azalea, are we going to talk about what we're doing this weekend? Nah. Amira, what are we going to talk about?
Huh?
What are we going to talk about, Amira?
I forgot what it's called.
It's the I can?
About geology.
Geology, very good. We're going to talk about geology. Very good. How long do we have, Marcos?
3 minutes.
Beautiful. Thank you for helping him out. 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. I just want you to talk to whoever's sitting next to you. If there's no one sitting next to you, you're going to need to move and sit next to someone else. 3 minutes start now. Go ahead and go. I'm going to walk around and hear your conversations. You can continue to look at the simulation, but you also need to talk to your neighbor at the same time.
I can't. I can't explain it. I did not geologist do.
You can get in. You guys are part of the assignment. Sometimes we gotta work each day. Sometimes we have to talk. So when you say it again, That's great. Can you also talk a little bit?
We don't know about listening to my kids.
You don't have to talk about it specifically. You can talk about the simulation. I will. So you're talking to me right now. When you're talking to Colton. Thank you. 1 minute left. Oh, I am so sorry. That was weird.
You're super nice.
It's just my dress.
I put it up too high, and the second, I added money.
It's good. It's good enough.
Okay, stop.
30 seconds.
What I did is I added a couple of things. Yeah, you do. But I think it's better understand.
All right. Very good. Our conversations are going to come to an end in about 5 seconds. Go ahead and go. In 4 seconds, we're going to settle down. In 3 seconds, we're going to say the last couple of words. In 2 seconds, we're going to all look up here again. In 1 second, we're going to look away from the simulation and at the teacher for just a minute. You can go after Michael Y, absolutely. And 0 seconds. All right, so now I have everybody looking back at me. I have nobody looking down at the simulation. We can go ahead and close our computers. In fact, because it's time to leave, please close the computers. That way I know everybody's not looking at the simulation. Santana, close the computer. Jonathan, Michael H., Matthew, Santana, Kyler. Oh, thank you, Kyler. No, not right now. I'm sorry. We only have 1 minute left. I'm sorry. We'll look at it some more later, I promise. We really will. Amira, computer closed. Samaria, then. Close your computer, please, Samaria. She wasn't when I just checked. Nope. It's probably just because we just finished. Michael H., close your computer. Uh-oh, I've got people standing up. Please go sit back down. I did not say to put away the computer. I just said to close it. Please go sit back down. I'm going to talk for just a second. I know, I'm sorry. Please sit back down. We do the same thing every day. I'm going to keep talking for just a second, and then we're going to put away our computers. Last time it was a little bit hectic, and not everybody actually plugged them in, so I'm going to call for just about 1 or 2 rows at a time. We are about to walk out the door and leave. Yep, thank you for letting him in. Alrighty, so before I answer your question, I'm going to say something, okay?
Don't have us put out our computer because the next class.
That is true, honey, but they want to get out their own specific computer, so we're going to wait. Santana, we're not calling for Amira.
Yeah, we're not calling for them.
Please listen. Otherwise, we're going to continue this during intervention time. I would like to finish now, please. Santana, okay. So I'm going to write your name on the board.
Yay!
Okay. Thank you. I would like for us to remain at a voice level 0 for just another minute so we can end class on time. So we've learned a lot about geology so far. Hopefully we had some great turn-in talks. Do 2 people want to share out? 2 people who I have not heard from much today. Share out what you noticed in the simulation or what we talked about earlier. What are 2 things that you noticed or you learned today? 2 things you didn't know before. Deshane, you got 1? You're taking a bunch of notes. No? Deshane, what's 1 thing you learned today? Anything. Anything. What's 1 thing you learned about geology or geologists today? Yeah? You don't have to if you don't want to. That's okay. Someone else help her out. Isla, what's 1 thing you learned today? Could be anything. Very good. Very good. So Isla's talking a little bit about elevation. She's talking a little bit about rock formation. She's talking about how in different time periods, different places look different. Deshane, what you got? Not yet. We're going to listen for just a second,
In
please.
the simulation, I saw when I was using it, I saw that the upper river was losing way much water than the lower.
Than the lower river, you mean? Very good. So Deshane noticed that the upper parts of the river were losing more water than the lower parts of the river. Very good. And that's because they have slightly different elevations, so the water has to flow downhill. Very good. These are some topics we're definitely going to talk about some more. I hear them leaving, so we're going to go ahead and start going. I'm going to have this side of the room go first, so that way everybody's not crowded around the computers. Please plug your computers in. When you're done, I would like for you to push in your chairs. Thank you. Excuse me, I would like the door to stay closed. It's too loud out there. Excuse me. Matthew, close the door. Now, please. You're not listening to me right now.
Finger started moving.
Did you get a Band-Aid? Okay. Did the nurse do anything for you, honey?
She didn't.
Okay. Good.